or African Americans.
I guess
Either
I'll
name is
do it.
fine. Alright, wait, raise your hand. Ethan.
It's dumb, I know. You don't have to tell me. The natives and the people knew each other more. I did not know these. I was like, what the
Okay, explain. What is Second Great Awakening?
what was
What
this?
is it?
It was like a revival.
Yeah, okay. Now how did revival help out the Native Americans specifically and the African Americans?
Missionaries,
Okay, 2.
Indians,
Okay, and?
they got saved.
Okay, yeah. And then so what was something like, for example, that the Indians, they made the sale of alcohol illegal because it affected
Oh,
them
yeah.
more. So what do we call that?
Different.
Temperance, good job. And then for the African Americans, for the ones that were unfortunately in slavery, there was raising a lot of awareness saying, hey, we may or may not should have this. What do we call it, Chris, whenever you're against slavery?
Can I say it?
Nope, ask Chris. Just wait.
We'll start with
A.
A.
A. What do you call the movement either against slavery or like what do you call yourself whenever you're against
I
slavery?
say
Anti-slavery.
There's a better term. It's one word.
This is one word.
Yeah. Like it's non-hyphen.
Anticipation.
Nope, okay.
Abolition.
Abolition, or an abolitionist. So that's the idea of, okay, this is how the Native Americans plus African Americans or Black Americans as people become more and more aware of it. What was one of the preachers of the African Americans? So like the one that founded the A&E?
What's wrong?
Cow and Allen.
Not Calvin Allen. No,
Yes, it's actually
no,
Robert.
okay. It is right at the, it's Allen, the first and third with an R. Close. Richard Allen. So again, those are the ideas you need to know for that one. Alright, number 11, well, chapter 11. Alright, 3 and 5, number 3. In what ways did Calhoun and Jackson demonstrate the necessity to balance both nationalism and states' rights? Alright, Chris.
Jackson showed nationalism support while Calhoun was focused on state rights.
Okay, so now both ideas are important because remember, why do you want to keep the whole country together?
Because if you don't, it's going to cause a civil war.
And then also,
Which
why do
should
you want why is it good to have the states to have some authority, not all of them just being told by the government what to do?
Because it was told by the government as the dictatorship.
Yeah, it's too much power basically for one group of people. So it's divided up on purpose to where the founding fathers said, okay, yes, you have the government, like the federal government that keeps the country together. But the same idea, it's supposed to be more of the states control themselves more. But today we've shifted over to more of the federal government used to tell the states what to do, because that's just happening today. Alright, number 5. What made the Whig Party political strategy ineffective in the 1840 election? You've already entered one. Quentin.
Number 5?
Yeah.
That's number 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Explain the spoil system. Do you agree with the spoil system? I'm sorry. Why or why not?
The spoil system was when someone was elected and that person was the more people that helped him become president.
And is that a good system or a bad system?
And
Why?
because anybody can become a political.
Yeah, basically, if you're a friend of the president, then the president can appoint you. We have presidents get shot over this later on, and so they decided we shouldn't do this anymore. So we eventually get rid of this system because it's not working out. But yeah, we have several presidents that get assassinated with this.
Who was the president that was attacked in the courtroom?
Caesar?
Lincoln
See-
B. Johnson.
I don't remember off the top of my head for that one.
Like he
but
was
there-
like killed with a baton or something like that?
Huh?
He was
President?
killed with-
I think you're talking about Julius
No,
Caesar.
not
I
killed
think
with a
you're thinking of
baton.
You can talk about Lyndon B. Johnson.
There was a president like during this important meeting in a building who was killed during the meeting by someone. And
I don't remember this.
I don't know what you're talking
It might have
about.
been an attempted assassination, but I don't remember if any
it was
president.
probably attempted.
I thought they were all shot.
I don't
Talk
think.
about Willis.
Okay, we're going. So I don't think any president was like beaten to death and he died. He might have been an assassination attempt. But there are some like Ronald Reagan had an assassination attempt where he was shot but he didn't die. So it's one of those where like, okay, you know, like we don't talk about all the assassination attempts for it because again, a lot of presidents potentially get like potentially assassinated. But we only talk about the ones that actually follow through when they actually die. Okay.
Didn't Ronald
This is a
Reagan
fast
die
question.
with the street, what's it called?
Stroke?
Stroke.
Streets.
He died recently. I don't remember though, because I remember watching his funeral on TV. I was old enough to watch
Let's
it.
go look
But I don't remember for sure how he died. It might have been a stroke, but I just don't remember.
Streets.
Yeah, Ricky.
Alright, we got to go now. Alright, number 5 on page chapter 10. Alright, thank you. Alright, explain the sexual issues that threaten to disrupt the national harmony. Someone who hasn't had a turn yet, Genesis or Brecken. Go, what do you got?
You should have said that.
No, the thing is, okay, one, I can't read this
Wow.
Read
You
the
can't
other one.
read your own
I
handwriting?
can read the
Yeah,
other ones,
read.
but this one, I don't know what I did. It says they would make a
Calligraphy.
peace to a
Speak if your mind, so you can't read your words.
I'm
You gotta
reading
be
it.
able to go.
Do you think you can help me?
Should help you with the green
Your
slip.
handwriting.
You see? It says work together and not decisions. It says make a different
No.
board
No,
and
alright, Genesis,
You
what
just
do you
said-
got?
Did what does it have to do with the printing of paper money?
What?
Printing of paper money.
Yeah, remember
Can I say-
there
can I
was
say-
4 major issues that divide the country. I drew a chart on those boards.
Oh, was it,
Okay, stop. Maybe slavery, remember like why is there drums in the classroom? Stop.
slavery,
Okay,
the National Bank,
okay,
westward expansion,
good job.
and,
He's read it.
tariffs.
Alright, those are 4 issues. Alright,
I
so,
put tariffs in here, so.
yay, alright, and so Buster, you wanna say again to remember which one went for what? So,
Gotcha.
when westward expansion internal improvements, that whole idea, who was for what?
The west.
For the westward
Okay, we'll just go
expansion,
there. Okay.
and north was against it.
Good job.
The south was mixed.
Good job, and the
And
west?
the west was for it.
Good job. Alright, banks.
Furthermore.
The
And
south
what's even
was
the
against
excuse
it,
for
the
this?
north was for it, and the west.
Okay, hang on, I cannot hear Quentin. Quentin, go again for banks.
North was for it, south was against it, and west was for it. Mixed. Against.
Against, and
Against.
south was also for it. Did you say south was a for or against it?
Against.
For it?
For.
For. Alright, remember, so banks, north is for, south is for, west is against. Tariffs! Alright,
The north was, with tariffs, the
Good job.
west was mixed, and the south was against.
Terrorism.
well, south was against. I'm sorry,
I thought that's
south was
what you
against.
What did
said.
I say?
You said mixed. So,
Yeah.
south was against.
I thought I said against. I thought I said west was mixed,
Yes.
and I said south was against.
Okay, good. Alright, slavery breaking.
north was against,
Good job.
west was against, mixed. For it
For.
and south was for it.
Good job. Alright, so that's the ideas for it. Alright,
That's 2 against.
those are your possible essays. Anyone have any questions about those ideas for your possible essays? Okay, go and take a piece of paper so we write down stuff. You don't
You
know.
don't know!
Don't scare me like that.
Alright, we're going to do the not dart game right now.
Oh.
Time at the end. Maybe, but I wanna make sure it gets your turn. Take it, guys.
Dark game, dark game.
Can I get a tissue, please?
Okay.
No.
Well, I'll get my calculator out.
Back, right.
My calculator. Calculator.
We're gonna say the first person to get to 50 so we can play a couple rounds for it. So we
Hey, do you
can
have a calculator in your pocket?
Imagine being so bad at writing.
It said they would make
Alright, settle down, Jimmy.
a blank with each other.
I have no
Not
idea.
being so good.
Alright, we gotta
Writing
get
Minecraft
going.
enchanted table.
Alright, we cannot play any game if y'all cannot get it together. Get it together so we can move. Alright, Ethan, we're starting off with you. Alright, what is the dates for the nationalist era?
The what?
What's the date for the nationalist era? So it's, good job.
1840.
Oh,
No, 1814.
good job.
1828.
Good job. First person 50, roll your dice. Alright, Quentin.
Nice.
What is the year for the charter of the second Bank of the United States?
18. 20. 13.
Teen something.
You said that was something.
18. 16.
1816. Alright,
What did you say?
Huh?
for the dates for the nationalist era? 1814, 1828.
1814.
Yes, yes.
1828.
National. And Quentin said,
I'm convinced I know the dates, and I just try to guess.
I'm convinced you're lucky.
Alright, 1816, second Bank of the United States.
That's okay.
Alright, what is the first protective tariff? It's the tariff of Genesis.
the second tariff, the date?
Yeah, so it's the tariff of,
Is
so,
it after the second bank?
Yeah.
yes, on the
Eight,
page.
1860.
1860?
What are we talking about?
First protective tariff.
What?
And it's a date.
Yes, the tariff of,
18. What?
it's in the teens, pick a teen.
Oh, teen, okay.
Okay.
1817.
No, bracket.
18. 1.
No, no, moving on.
Oh,
No,
What was the date of what?
no, I've already said it like twice.
1813.
No,
1816.
1816.
I was so close.
Alright, Brecken's turn. Alright, Brecken. Let's see, whose election marked the era of good feeling? Turn around, Chris.
We'll just start with,
President, last name begins with M.
which one goes? Madison.
Nope,
Monroe.
Monroe.
It was
Alright.
one of them.
What was the economic depression caused by speculation? So it's the depression of, or panic of,
1870.
a final answer?
Yes.
No.
1818.
Nope. Genesis. Okay, Brecken.
Hi, Chris.
Skip Brecken.
Does it start with team?
Yeah, it does.
Is it 1819?
1819. So make a note, it's economic, so it's economic crisis. So this one was caused by speculation, 1819. Let's see, I think it's Chris's turn for real since you stole. Alright, so which court case fulfilled the doctrine of implied powers?
What is it? Webster or someone?
You mean the Webster Ashburton Treaty?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Is it Madison or someone?
That's a previous court case.
Let's start with.
M.
We're in chapter 10.
We're in chapter 10.
It's the second one of D.
It's someone for someone?
Yeah. But they're all someone for someone.
It's the second one of D.
No.
What's
I
the second one?
know
What's the
it.
second one start with?
M. This is gonna take you on first.
M.
Is it two colleges?
Madison versus Monroe.
No.
No. I think I know.
Alright,
Second
guess.
dude.
Okay, we're gonna do it just first person to raise your hand to steal because that's gonna take you on to go through everybody. So, after
Marbury.
this, first person to raise your hand. First person to raise your hand. First person to raise your hand. Just beat Genesis then. Go. Genesis then you.
Is it someone with McCullen? I feel like I know it's like Mick something.
No, no.
Colin.
McCullen. What the first dude's first name starts with an M.
It does. Couple seconds, we gotta go.
Madison.
Nope. Alright, Ethan.
Oh,
Madison versus Marbury.
Nope.
No, it's
that's the previous one.
McCullen.
Alright, McCulloch
McCullen.
versus Maryland. McCulloch versus Maryland.
Buck
Alright, over to Ethan. Alright, Ethan, what was the court case that said that the state cannot just hijack a private school and make it a public school?
What was the play?
What's the court case?
Oh,
Okay.
something versus Dartmouth versus. What's the second start with?
W.
Webster?
Nope. Alright, anybody else wanna try to guess? Alright.
Is it Dartmouth or something?
Yes.
Dartmouth versus, it starts with a W?
Yep.
Dartmouth versus Westchester.
Verse.
Nope, that's close. You're closer, so I'll let you have it. So, Dartmouth College versus Woodward. Woodward. So take it. Alright, Quentin, what is the court case in which the Supreme Court defined what interstate commerce was? Alright, first one, raise your hand.
Wait, what?
What is the court case in which the Supreme Court defined what interstate commerce was? Go. Alright?
Marbury.
Nope. Alright, last one try. Gibbons versus Ogden. Gibbons versus Ogden.
How am I supposed to remember this?
Memorize them. Go.
Gibbons versus what?
Gibbons versus
Gibbs.
Ogden.
I don't remember that.
Gibbons. Gibbons is how it looks. Versus
Gibbons.
Ogden.
Was
Something.
Ogden like a 400
Isn't that a
pound,
monkey?
like 6'8"?
No, we're not getting into that. 135.
Isn't that a
Alright.
monkey?
Nope, we gotta go. What is, or who proposed the bonus bill? I believe it is Genesis' turn now.
What's
Who
that?
What?
What's that?
C. No drums. Alright, raise your hand. Go. This is barely easy.
Calvin.
It is Calvin. Alright.
I'm gonna say
What?
that.
Alright, who proposed the American system?
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, first person to fifth. C. Alright, Brecken, who proposed the American system?
What's it start with?
C. Last name.
It can't be him again.
Could it? This guy did a lot.
I'm just gonna say it, and if I'm wrong, don't. make
So
fun
be
of me.
it.
Okay.
That dude's name.
Calhoun again?
Yeah, Calhoun.
No,
Calhoun.
alright, first person raise your hand.
Do it.
Go. That was Chris.
Starts with a C.
Just for C.
Calvert.
Calvert? No.
Crawford.
No. Anyone else wanna guess?
Crawford.
Henry Clay. Henry Clay.
Clay.
Write it down. One of the Warhawks. Alright. Who was Monroe's Secretary of State? I believe it is Genesis' turn
It's my
now?
turn.
It is.
It's not mine.
Okay. Who was Monroe's Secretary of State? Go. It starts with A.
An A?
A.
First name or last name?
Last name.
Is it Quincy Adams?
It is Quincy Adams. Alright, Quincy Adams, Governor Secretary of State. Alright, what was the treaty that was the greatest improvement in foreign relationships between us and Great Britain, and it demilitarized the US-Canadian borders? It's your
Isn't it
turn.
my turn?
Start with a W?
No, because he's freaking stole it.
That start with W?
No, there's an R.
It was the one that between us and
Great Britain, but it would say the US-Canadian border, like farther down, by the Great Lakes region, so farther down.
start with an R?
Yep. Couple seconds, I gotta go. Alright, for versus deal? Go. Chris.
Rednecks versus the British.
Nope. Rush Bagot, it looks like, alright, it's Bagot, but it looks like, Bagot, but Rush Bagot agreement. It's on page 137.
Russian.
I love that game.
Rush Bagot. Alright, what system called for high protective tariffs in the east and for internal improvements in the west? It was supposed to bind America together like an economic unit. Alright, it's Quentin's turn. Alright, first raise your hand.
What?
First person raise your hand. Go. Chris.
Is it one of the names in A?
Yep.
Is it Webster versus Ashby?
Nope. Alright, anyone else wanna guess? Alright, that's the American system. So the one that Clay proposed, it would bind America together as an economic
Where's
unit.
that?
It was supposed to have high protective tariffs and was supposed to use that money for internal improvements in the West. Bits of it gets approved
What
later on.
page?
That is on page 137.
No.
No. Alright, what is the treaty between us and Spain where Spain would cede all of Florida to us?
Oh.
This is your turn.
Oh.
It has an O in it.
It's like the onus.
Yeah, that is the second part.
Omnis?
What's the first part, sorry?
Starts with an A.
Ain't.
Who's Secretary of State? Because it's his agreements with people.
Adam's onus.
Adams Onis Treaty.
Onis.
Alright, what is the year for the Adams Onis Treaty?
Is it 1800?
It is in the 18 teens, so I can help you out and give you which decade you're in.
19.
Good job. Alright, what is the year for the Monroe Doctrine?
Is it 18s?
It's in the 1820s.
1827.
Final answer? Just making sure.
Yes.
No. First one, raise your hand. Go. That's Quentin.
1821.
Nope, you were next and then Ethan.
It's 1820 something?
It is 1820 something.
1825.
Nope.
1823.
1823. 1825. Write it down. Alright, what were the two parts to the Monroe Doctrine? So this
Say
is
it
Ethan's turn.
Say it again?
What is the two parts to the Monroe Doctrine?
America would not, put herself in European affairs
Good job.
unless they were involved, or
Yeah, we
unless
basically,
they messed with us or something.
yeah, basically we would stay on affairs unless it directly involves us.
And then, Europe should stay out of North American affairs.
Yeah, basically they weren't allowed to colonize in North America anymore. Good job. Alright, so underneath the Missouri Compromise, what two states are brought in?
Missouri,
And,
Maine,
what was it?
Maine,
Maine. Which one was the slave state?
Missouri,
Which one was the free state?
Maine.
Good job, really good. Alright, what year is the favorite son's election? Genesis.
What's the?
What year? Okay, 1820.
1920, is it after the Monroe Doctrine?
No.
Yes.
6.
No. Record, raise your hand, sorry. Go. That was Quentin.
1828.
Nope,
1827.
nope.
What was the date of the?
Monroe, a favorite son's election. Not Monroe election.
No,
Favorite son.
29.
I know this.
1829? Nope, you've already guessed except for Brecken.
I know it.
1895.
Nope.
Can I please guess?
20.
No, everyone's already guessed once.
Is it 1824?
Yes.
Yeah.
1824. Remember, elections are even years, so it's 24.
Elections are
Oh.
even years, didn't know.
Alright, who was the favorite
For
son
real.
of the North? Brecken's turn.
What's it start with again?
Last one begins today.
Adams.
Which one?
Quincy.
Good job. Who's the favorite son of the South?
Starts with letter W.
That one starts with C.
I think starts with C. Clay.
No. First one, raise your hand. Go. That was Ethan Bailey and Chris.
Crawford.
Crawford. William
Crawfish.
Crawford. It is Crawford. Alright, name one of the favorite sons of the I think it's Ethan's turn now officially.
One of the favorite sons of what?
One of the favorite sons of the West. There's two of them.
Andrew
And
Jackson.
do you remember the other one?
Like,
Henry Clay. Alright, Jackson was upset, and so because of that, Okay, I'll take that, and then go toward the Democrats, okay, Democratic Republicans, or just Democrats, while the National Republicans followed Henry Clay and Douglas C. Adams. Now remember, what were the two groups, Brecken?
You drop it.
I didn't know where it went.
And the
National Republicans,
yeah.
make sure you're paying attention.
Republicans.
Alright, so making note of the sectional differences, I'm not gonna draw the chart again, but for the idea of land, westward expansion, internal improvements, north was against, south was mixed, west was for it. For the bank, north was for it, south was for it, west was against it. Tariffs, north was for it, south was against, and west was kinda mixed on it. For slavery, north was against, south was for, west was for it. Moving on, yes.
You did the treasure game.
What?
You did the treasure game.
We gotta move.
I'm in chapter 11 now.
We're in chapter 11. Alright, what is the tariff of abominations? Remember, first person to 50. Yes, Mrs. Stewart?
I tried to call you, but apparently.
I'm sorry, I don't have my phone on me.
That's fine, Genesis, she's.
Fine, Genesis. Sorry.
That's alright.
See ya, wouldn't wanna
Alright,
be ya.
you don't have any homework to study, so just make sure you watch the US history video later. Alright, don't steal my dice.
The right stuff.
COVID.
I'll watch them. You make it your candidate.
For what?
Trauma.
What's she paying for?
She did the homework that I assigned originally yesterday, before I got to her to like change it, so she did extra homework by accident. It wasn't her fault. Alright, so, going over to Brecken's turn. Alright, Brecken, what is the tariff of abomination? It's the tariff of?
It's a year.
It's a year. 1820.
8.
Good job.
What a
I thought you were done. 1828. Nice.
It's 1828.
I was gonna say.
I wouldn't count
You were
that.
actually-
Roll it,
I
roll
was
it. No,
between
no, we're gonna
628.
review it. No, 1828.
Wow.
Okay.
I get that?
No.
No.
Alright, who wrote South Carolina Exposition and Protest?
What'd you start with?
Steve.
Good job.
For what?
South Carolina Exposition and Protest.
Starts with a C.
C.
Let's go the only C name I know.
Oh no.
Chris.
Play.
Clay?
Yeah.
No?
I don't
Alright,
know,
first
let's
person
see
to
then.
raise your hand. Turn off everybody. Go! That was Chris.
Calhoun.
Calhoun.
You
Calhoun.
see?
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, no, that actually would work because Calhoun does a lot. So if you don't know, a good guess is Calhoun. Not all the time, but Calhoun does a lot.
Calhoun.
I thought it was gonna be wrong that time. Okay.
Alright, what was the name for Jackson's unofficial group of advisors? It's your turn.
Oh, it's the kitchen cabinet.
Remember, cabinet is spelled C-A-B-I-N-E-T.
I'm not
Kitchen
gonna remember.
cabinet. Oh, bummer. Alright, so in Congress, who defended states' rights? Whenever he debated Daniel Webster defended the Union. So who was the other guy? I've asked this so many. Who defended the idea of states' rights? To Daniel Webster. Daniel Webster said no, the Union's more important. And this guy said no, it's not.
Clay.
No, person raise your hand. Go. That was Chris.
Start to see.
No, starts with an H.
Starts with an H.
H.
Pain.
Good job, Robert Haynes.
I thought you said start with a C.
You didn't ask. Robert Haynes.
Woo!
Alright. Who was the name for Jackson's first vice president that he eventually stops because of this?
Let's start with
Starts with C.
Everything starts with a C.
Calhoun.
Calhoun.
Come on! Why does that have to be in everything?
Alright. What was the treaty to where the Cherokee agreed to leave their homeland and it gave Jackson the authority to move them? It's Brecken's turn. What's that treaty?
Starts with a
It does. Well, Treaty of New.
You're a choda.
I'll take it.
However you say it.
You're a
Yeah.
chodo.
You choked out. I'll take it.
You're a choda.
I'll take it.
To combine Iroquois with
What is the
Choda.
name for
Charles
the?
Pierce.
Yes. What is Charles Pierce?
Was walking the Cherokee Indians meeting.
Good job. So that's the name for their journey. All right. What is the bill that gives the president authority to use the Army and Navy to enforce revenue laws?
Fourth bill.
Good job. Who was the president of the National Bank during this era?
What's over?
B.
I had 51.
Biddle.
Biddle. Alright, Ethan was first one to 50, so Ethan wins. So reset. Everyone's points reset. You may restart and roll with this one starting.
Can we
So
do
what?
different things?
What?
Can we do different things?
Nope. Because I want to make sure I get through everything. I'm only in chapter 11. I gotta get through whole chapter 12 first. It's more important to get everything, Chris, than it is to play fun games. And if y'all keep y'all focused, I might play other games, but I gotta move to make sure I get through everything. Alright, so your turn. Alright, who was Secretary of the Treasury, Brecken?
Let's start with.
T.
Uh-oh.
That's not a name.
Uh-oh. Let's see here.
minute.
Trudeau what?
Who was the Secretary of the Treasury?
Yeah, I know.
Go. That was Chris and then Quentin.
Tyler.
No.
Tony.
Tawny.
Come on, man, you always steal points from me.
Alright, which country did Jackson defend and we almost go to war with?
Start with F.
Yep.
France.
France.
Hold on.
Alright, what party was formed just against Jackson?
Whigs!
The Whig Party. Okay, are you gonna write Whig or Whig? Test.
Frog.
Both.
Are you gonna remember which one?
Wait.
Whig, so make sure that you write the correct answer, so that way it'll help you remember. Alright,
Both.
what is, let's see, who won the election after President Jackson? So who was the election of 1836?
Van Buren.
Van Buren.
Can you get it
Alright,
wrong for once?
what was the panic or the depression that was partly caused by Jackson's like specie circular and other economic ideas?
What does it start with?
It's a year, so panic of 1830.
1834.
Final answer.
Yeah.
No. Okay, Brenda's right hand. Go. That was easy.
1836.
1836. Final answer. No.
1838.
No.
1837.
1837.
What a guess.
1837. Alright. So, since they weren't using the bank, what did Martin Van Buren urge them to try instead? So it's kind of like banks, but they're spread out more. So it starts with an I.
Oh, yeah.
Something system, right?
It is something system.
Interrogation system.
No. Alright, Brenda's raise your hand. Go.
There's 2 words in that system, right?
Yep.
Introduction investment system.
No. Alright, Brendan.
What's the second word?
No, it'll take too long.
Interrogation
International something system.
Independent
Oh.
Treasury System. Independent Treasury System. Make it up for that.
ITS.
Let's see, it was your turn, so now it's Ethan's
Thanks
turn.
for that.
Alright,
Remember that.
Ethan, what is a word that means right to vote?
Suffrage.
Good job. Franchise too, but suffrage is the one you want.
Voting.
Yeah. Alright, what do you call a party whenever it runs super smooth and very organized? Machine? Alright, what is the system that said that if you're basically a friend of the president, or if you help him get elected, he will appoint you to a position?
What does it start with?
Yes. You had, I said
had
questions
homework
for
on this.
this, yes. Alright, who was the president that introduced it?
Start with
Jay?
Jackson.
Jackson?
It's,
I'm so good at this.
My dice.
Remember, first one to 50.
Don't make me jealous.
it's broke.
What kind of a broke?
It landed on 1.
Sorry.
That's
Alright, so,
I didn't do
let's see, what was the campaign slogan for William Henry Harrison?
I never do one.
Ethan, it's your turn, what's the campaign slogan?
Tippecanoe and Tyler J.
Good job, double check how you spell Tippecanoe.
I'll never spell it.
Alright, I know spell.
Tipaeone.
We're not checking right now. Alright, who was the first president to die in office?
Yo.
Let's start with. Just make sure.
H.
Henry Harrison.
Good job, Henry Harrison. Now remember, technically, it's William Henry Harrison, because William's his first name, so just be careful.
Yeah,
Some of
'cause I
you
put
missed
Henry
that,
Harrison
yeah,
and
some of you
not
missed that
William.
on the quiz, just be careful. Alright,
Yes.
who was his vice
Wait.
president? That he becomes president?
Did you know your birthday?
Hold on.
He's gonna say them all.
Here, might as well.
Washington, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Touch one way
I
for
know,
you.
I know.
He's gonna lose.
He's only on 5.
I'm just gonna say, what's it start with?
Okay, what's the campaign slogan for William Henry Harrison?
I don't know, Tyler.
There you go, what's his first name?
John.
Good job, John Tyler. So it's Tippecanoe and Tyler too. Tyler refers to the vice president. Alright, which president became known as the president without a party?
What's last name? Sorry.
T?
Tyler.
Yes, John Tyler. Alright, who was Secretary of State underneath Tyler? And he did not quit because he was busy.
Webster.
Good job, which one?
No,
There's 2 of them.
I don't, Daniel Webster.
Daniel Webster. But if you say Noah Webster, you're wrong.
Okay, Danny.
Alright, who was the British minister that Daniel Webster worked with to resolve conflict between us and Great Britain?
Ashburn.
Ashburton. Alright, what was the treaty that had the disputed territory between Maine and Canada? It also distributes territory in the Great Lakes area. It's between Daniel Webster and Lord Ashburton.
The Webster, Ashburton Treaty.
Good job. It's lucky it's named after their last names.
You want to just tell them the whole answer?
No. Alright, what section of the country was known for violence, gambling? Yes. Alright,
Now South Columbus.
what country, make sure you're keeping your focus there. What is the denomination that was the first one to use circuit riders? We are in chapter 12 of the second.
Methodites.
Good job, we're making progress. Alright, who was the leader of the circuit riders, or one of the leaders?
Let's start with
A.
Adam.
Nope, everyone raise your hand. Go. That was good.
Armadillo.
No,
Probably it.
start with an A.
The guy who started the stuff?
He was one of the leaders of the circuit riders.
Armillo.
No. Alright, Breckin, did you raise your hand?
I just did.
Okay.
There's an Armillo guy somewhere.
Is it Arthur?
No.
Arpit?
Alright, Francis Ashbury. Ashbury. It's on page 158.
Ashbury.
Right. I do not remember who had that question.
Me.
I did.
Okay, so it's Breckin's turn now. Alright, Brecken, who pioneered the Camp Meeting revival?
Wait, who had it?
Wait,
That was me. I had it.
did you
You
get
sure?
it?
So it's my
Which
turn.
one did I get?
Who pioneered the Camp Meeting revival?
Start with an M?
Yep.
McGreedy.
Good job, James McGreedy. Alright, where did the most notable camp meeting take place? It took place in Kentucky, but where?
Yes.
That's not a
Why
place.
do I always get this one?
Should've let Chris have it.
Yeah. I don't know.
What?
Alright, first, anyone know? Wait, raise your hand.
Who what?
What does it start with? It starts with a C,
Starts with
right?
C.
Who what?
Everything starts with C.
I don't know how to say it.
Where was the most notable camp meeting? Go. Chris?
Is it Calvert?
Nope. Ethan was next and then question.
Cambridge.
Cambridge?
Cambridge.
No.
What?
It starts with the end with the N.
Canterbury?
Nope.
Is it end with the N?
No.
It's, oh,
Okay, it's gotta go.
I don't know.
Alright. I
Cambridge.
can't let you have it. Cambridge. Not
I thought it
Cambridge.
was Cambridge.
Not
That's what
Cambridge.
you said. Last night that's what I heard.
Cambridge. So, Cambridge. So, stick it up, page 158. Alright, who was the best known evangelist of the Second Great Awakening? Whose question was that? Was that Quinn? That was Quinn's turn, so now it's Brecken's turn. Alright, Brecken, who was the best known evangelist of the Second Great Awakening?
Let's just start with,
Starts with F. Does it make you nervous when everyone turns and looks at you?
Charles G. Finney.
Good job. Alright, what is the major decade for the Second Great Awakening?
1850s.
Good job. Alright, who founded the African Methodist Episcopal Church, or the AME? I asked this during homework earlier. You already just went, so it's Ethan's turn.
What's it start with?
A for last name.
Why does everybody's name have to start with an A?
A lot of between A's and
Armillo.
C's. What?
Armillo.
No. Alright, Patricia, raise your hand. Go. Tom wasn't on the desk. Question.
Allen.
Yep, Richard Allen. Alright, what do you call the traveling salesman preachers where they would preach and then they would also give away tracts and Bibles and books?
We're gonna guess it start with the C.
It's
Whose turn is it?
C actually.
My turn, right? That was his question.
Whose?
His first question.
Who? I can't tell you your point.
That was Brett's question.
That was mine.
I don't remember.
Richard was right. I think it is your turn.
Is it, it's like conquerors,
Say it again?
conquerors. I can't say it. You
It
gave
is
me last time.
hard. Okay, try to say it a little bit better. 'Cause it sounds like you're saying conquistadors.
No, it's
That's not it.
It's contours. I don't know how to say it. I can't say it.
Spell it.
It's like C-O-N. There's a P in there. Right?
Okay, I'll let you have it.
Entrepreneurs.
No. Okay. Coal
Coal
pores. It's on page 160.
Coal pores.
Check spelling to make sure you can spell it right even if you can't say it. Alright.
Coca-Cola.
So, name the lady that was part of the American Sunday School Union, and she helped found Sunday School for New York for women and children
Does
specifically.
it start with an M?
Her last name begins with an F.
Sally.
It starts with an F.
F, I like said S.
Oh, sorry, F.
Fanny.
Nope. Alright, Professor, raise your hand. Go. Chris?
Frederick.
Nope. Anyone else want to guess? Alright, question?
Francis.
Nope.
Nope.
Alright, Catherine Ferguson. Alright, Quentin's turn. Who was one of the greatest Sunday school missionaries and he established over 1,300 Sunday schools in the Mississippi Valley?
Let's start with.
His last name begins with a P.
I don't remember.
Alright, first person, raise your hand. Go.
Peter.
Nope. Anyone else want to guess?
Pawnee.
Nope.
Peter Parker.
Oh.
Alright,
Peter
Stephen Paxson. Stephen Paxson.
Stephen Curry.
Alright, Brecken's turn. Alright, Brecken, who was one of the students present at the Haystack prayer meeting? He never actually went on a mission trip, but he helped fund others. His last name begins with an M.
See?
So the end of the M?
His last name starts with an M.
Starts with an M.
It's a cereal company, that's not who it's named after, but it's.
I just wanna say serial killer.
I don't know.
Cereal
I
company.
was about to say Manson.
Alright,
Murder investigation.
okay, we can't get off that.
I don't know.
Alright, first person, raise your hand. Go. That was Chris and Ethan.
Mason.
No.
Mills.
Mills. Samuel J. Mills. Alright, it is your turn now, Chris. Alright, Chris. Who was one of the first missionaries to be dispatched by the American board, but he was known as the father of American missions?
Who was the first one?
He's known as the father of American
What's his last
missions.
name, sir?
Begins with a J. J.
Last name begins with a J.
Yep.
And what can you say the question again?
Who is known as the father of American missions?
Jetson.
Say again?
Judson.
Yep. Adoniram Judson.
Judson.
Alright, what country was founded by America as a country for the freed slaves to go home to? Ethan's turn.
Liberia.
Good job. Liberia. This is the one that America founded, so Liberia. Alright, name the Commodore that was sent with a fleet of warships to secure a trade agreement with the Japanese Emperor.
Harry.
Harry?
Commodore
Final answer?
Harry.
It is Commodore Harry. Exactly.
I'm 2 away, Ethan.
Alright,
By the
so
way.
who negotiated the Treaty of Amity and Commerce saying that Japan did not open for trade? His last name begins with an H. H. We're almost done though, we're getting there. I don't know if
Lehman.
I spoke anything else up. Harrison?
Yeah.
No, first person to raise your hand.
Wait, hold on. What?
Treaty of Amity and Commerce saying Japan is open for trade. Go, Ethan.
It's right there. It's right there.
Okay, Quentin?
Henry. Come on, Joe.
Just Henry? It doesn't have Henry in it though.
Come on, Joe.
Okay. What?
Yeah. Yes, Henry.
No. Alright, that's my guess?
Come on, Joe.
Alright, Townsend.
Harris.
Harris. Alright, who
Harris.
discovered Hawaii?
What did I say?
C.
C?
I'm sorry, Brecken.
Wait, what's it? Who? What's
Who
the one?
discovered Hawaii?
Last name starts with a C. What?
Calhoun.
Don't help him. Don't
No
help him.
laugh.
And don't give him wrong answers.
The last name starts with a C.
Yes.
I should know that. I know this. I know this for a fact.
Brecken's talking about in geography, that's why Brecken's dying a little.
Oh, you very good, right?
No, I'm not
Help
helping
me.
you.
I'm 2 away from winning, or else Ethan's
Okay,
winning.
that's why I'm not helping you.
I want Ethan to win.
Starts with a C.
First play.
You're going to play.
Where's your
Final
hand?
answer.
No, let him
Sure.
Yes.
He's already about to win.
No.
Cook.
Captain Cook.
Alright, let me make sure it stays on my desk. 4. I win.
Yay. Okay, we're almost done.
53.
Okay, whoever has the most in the next 10 minutes. So I'm gonna make sure we get through all of the utopian societies.
So we're not doing those?
Not right now.
That's depressing.
Alright, so restart. Quentin's turn. Alright, Quentin, what year were the first missionaries went to go to Hawaii? 1860? I'm gonna help you out. It's in the 1820s, so pick a different character.
Way off. 1829.
29? No, first person raise your hand. Whoever's ahead in the next 10 minutes. Go. That was Chris. 1824?
Yes.
No.
1827.
No.
This was in the 1820s.
Yes.
1823.
Final answer.
Yes.
No, right now.
21.
1820. 1820. Yeah, 1820. Alright.
I used to a lot.
It's on page 162. Look it up. Alright. What is the term, Brecken's term, that means you are against the selling of alcohol?
It starts with a T?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it started with an A.
You're thinking of anti-slavery.
Alcoholism.
I'm familiar with that.
It starts with an
What did you say?
A. It starts with a T, and
Starts
it's
with a T.
against alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Heroin.
Temperance?
Yeah, something like that.
Spurs.
Something like that.
It is temperance, good job. Alright,
Yes,
what
perfect.
term means you're against slavery, Chris? It's just the next one. It is the next
This is the
one.
one I was thinking about.
I know, this is the next one.
Let's start with,
A. We just talked about this.
one second, starts with an A.
There's an A.
They look like that.
Starts with an A.
That's what it is.
Starts with an A.
But don't you that?
Starts with an A.
Yeah.
Alright, starts with an A.
That was it.
Abolition.
Good job. Abolition. Or abolitionist. Alright, now what is the lady that promoted more humane treatment for the mentally ill?
You guys start with an M.
It starts with D.
Mott.
You're going with Mott. You're going to start with D.
It starts with an M.
Daryl.
Final answer?
No, it's a woman, right?
I'm just
It's a
gonna say
woman?
something.
It's a woman. I said a woman and a lady.
Oh, okay.
Being smart.
So we're going with Daryl?
Daryl.
No, first person raise your
It
hand.
starts with a D?
D.
Is it like a girly name?
I mean, her
I mean,
last
it's a
name is her
last
last
name.
name.
Brecken,
but
what?
I don't
her
know.
first
I'm
name
just-
starts with a D too as well. Go.
Dixon.
Final answer?
Yes.
Here, I will let you have it,
Oh,
but
is
it's
it
Dorothy
that Dorothea?
Dix. Dorothy Dix.
What?
Dorothy
A like
Dix.
curse.
Okay, make sure to be careful with pronunciation and stuff like, because you won't accidentally break these on your Alright, Quentin's turn. Alright, Quentin, what was the name for the lady that founded the first settlement house in New York? She called it 5 Points Mission.
What is her way?
P. Both her first and last name.
I don't know.
Perry?
You want Perry?
Mm-hmm.
No. Alright, first person, raise your hand. Go.
Parker.
No.
No, that's a doctor.
Alright, anybody else want to guess?
It starts with a P?
It's not a
That's
doctor. It's
Alright.
Peter Porter.
No. Phoebe Palmer. Phoebe
Oh,
Palmer.
Oh.
Phoebe Palmer. Okay. What is the name, Brecken, for the organization that was founded for the purpose of helping out with the poor, in particular for young men? You may give the abbreviation.
YMCA.
Good job. Okay.
It's
I've
John
never
Watson.
seen anybody based off of him.
Oh, wait, what did I do? I did that.
You trying to make fun of me?
Alright, name one of the leaders for women's suffrage.
8.
What was the last one to start with?
You have one last name begins with an S, one starts with an M, one starts with an A.
What starts with an, one is with an S, one starts with an one is with an A.
Yes, like their last names are all S, M, and A. There's 3 of them, pick one.
Ashley.
Ashley, for a last name?
Yes.
No. Alright, first raise your hand.
My last name Ashley.
Go.
Hey, Mott.
Mott. That is it. Alright. So Elizabeth Stanton, Lucretia Mott, and Susan B. Anthony. Those are 3 of them. From page 165.
I just know Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah, it's really common, but it's okay. Alright, Ethan's turn. Alright, Ethan. What is the false doctrine that denied the deity of Christ, the Trinity, and other important biblical doctrines that came out during this time period?
Let me guess. That's not what they see.
No,
No,
first with you.
Uniformitarianism. Unitarianism.
Yep, Unitarianism. Alright, who created the philosophy of transcendentalism, saying man has to commune with nature instead now?
Almost got through.
Let's start with.
His last name begins with an E.
676.
No.
Alright, first one to raise your hand. Go.
Edwards.
You want Edwards?
Yes.
No.
Ethan.
You want Ethan? No.
Emmanuel.
No. Alright,
That's a
Ralph
guy.
Waldo Emerson.
There's only one
Ralph
popular
Waldo
Ethan.
Emerson.
Doesn't he make TVs?
What?
Doesn't he make TVs too, Emerson?
I have no idea. Alright, whose turn was that? Was that Quentin's
That was
turn?
mine.
Alright, who wrote Walden?
Just Walden?
Yep,
What's
because
the song
he sat
with?
next to Walden Pond. T, pretty sure you're reading a guy's book.
It just says
English.
Walden. It's just the name.
Maybe not. Yeah, the book's name is Walden.
Are y'all reading another book?
I don't think we are.
I don't know what Walden
No,
is. I don't know who this
guy.
Walden guy is.
Okay, no, who wrote it?
Sounds like a fish to me.
So it starts with a T.
Yep.
Thomas.
Nope. Urban raise your hand.
Thomas.
Yep.
Thomas, the train.
Tandy.
Nope. Remember, that's with the Secretary of Treasury.
Yeah.
Alright, anybody else want to guess? Alright, Henry David Thoreau. Aren't y'all reading some known by him in
No.
English? Okay, never mind then, sorry.
I
Henry
don't even
David
know who
Thoreau.
Thoreau is.
Henry David Thoreau. Alright, who wrote Leaves of Grass?
Leaves of grass?
Who wrote
Let's start with
Leaves of Grass? W.
Russell Wilson.
That's actually
Russell
decent, but no.
Westbrook.
Alright, anybody else wanna guess?
Starting with what?
Alright, Ethan?
Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
That's a good
Raphael
guess, but no.
Warnock.
Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman. Wait a minute, him. He wrote other poems too, but just note for this
John
one.
Ossoff.
We're not there yet. So,
We're not there, we're not
We're
there
not
also?
alright. Who
Liberal
founded,
policies.
okay, don't lose your focus. Who founded New Harmony? This was the Utopian Society in Indiana. It was your turn.
Starts with the what? It's my turn.
Oh, no, Chris'
It was Chris, and then it was.
With Leaves of Grass? Yeah, it was Chris's. True. Alright, so who founded the Utopian community in Indiana called New Harmony?
What is that final man? Otis.
Nope, the person raise your hand.
Oh, I know I'm close.
Go. Chris.
Preston O.
Oh.
John Ossoff.
Nope. Brendan? Raise your hand. Alright, Brendan?
His name is O. Henry.
Nope.
Otis.
Nope.
That's what we
Alright,
just said.
Robert Owen. Alright, who stayed at Brook Farm and he made fun of it in his book, The Blythedale Romance? I think this is what I was thinking of.
That was me.
Nope. Probably.
We're leaving Scarlet Letter, not that.
Who wrote Scarlet Letter?
Nathan Hoffman.
Alright, first person to raise your hand.
Scarlet Letter.
You wrote this book as well.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Go.
My boy.
Alright, what's
My
his name?
main man,
What's his name?
Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Good job. He wrote The Blythedale Romance.
Oh!
Okay. I think that was everything.
I had 22. How many did you have? I had 22. I had 22. I had 22. I had 22.
I'm sorry.
What did he do?
I had 23.
He
That's
was
good.
one of
I had
the
19.
missionaries that tried to go over to
I had 19.
India. He got
Wait,
denied.
anyone have more than 22?
I
I
had,
had 0.
I had 14 points.
I had 19, so get right.
I had
Alright,
like
balance
14 every
lottery.
time.
So I get candy, right?
Yeah, hang on.
Nope.
Balance lottery, make sure you study for your essays. You don't have any questions about your essays?
No.
Alright, make sure you study. We